Have you all understood the last chapter that we have discussed? Everybody just answer.
Good morning, sir.
Jai Hind beta, Jai Hind Shivam. I'm asking,
Yes, sir.
Jai Hind beta. My question is, have you all understood the last chapter that we discussed? I think the last chapter that we discussed was animals. Was it? Yes, Kritika. Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's begin the next chapter. And our next chapter is Amanda. Let's find out what is this poem about and who's Amanda. Let us know who's Amanda and what the author wants to convey through Amanda. Now let us see. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen and let me know whether you are able to see it or not. And do not do any mischievous activity while I'm teaching. Fine, beta. Okay. So now this is the chapter. Let us know a little bit. Okay, first of all, just tell me whether you are able to see the screen clearly and you are able to read the text also or not.
Sir.
All of you just tell
Yes,
me.
sir.
Text is visible to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you read the text? Hmm? Okay, now I'll start it. Introduction to the lesson. Robin Keane has expressed the views of a little girl, Amanda, who is constantly pointed out by her mother for making mistakes which she considers so as they are not part of the code of good conduct laid out by the society in which we live. So, definitely, what happens in our homes, also in our society, also there are so many rules for children that children don't have to do it, so children cannot do that, children cannot do this, children cannot sit here, children cannot stand like that. So there are so many rules in the society for the children, and those rules are made by the elders of our society. Now let us find out what Amanda is actually feeling of those rules, and how her mother is trying to put up everything on Amanda, how she actually keeps on scolding, and how she is always behind Amanda, and she's actually taunting her, telling her to do the things. Now let us go through the summary of the poem. The poem describes a girl named Amanda and her mother who is nagging her for her mistakes. So this whole poem is actually about a girl whose name is Amanda and her mother who is always behind her telling her, Amanda, just don't do it. Amanda, just don't do that. So she's just always just behind her only. She's first pointed out most probably by her mother for biting her nails, and quite often you all also might be having this habit, because most of the children do have this habit. I have seen it, that they keep on biting their nails. So like that only Amanda is also biting her nails, and her mother keeps on reminding her, mother, Amanda, this is not a good habit, you have to stop doing it. So this is something that is the very first thing that is being pointed out by Amanda's mother to her. And then the other thing is that not sitting properly. Whenever she sits, then perhaps her mother feels like, no, this is not the right posture to sit, and that's how she is actually scolded for that thing also. The mother also feels that Amanda sits in a very lazy manner. Most often, what happens when you sit down for studying and your father is around, then what will happen? He'll very first look at you and he'll tell you whether it is the way to sit down and study. Just sit straight on the table and then only you should study. You cannot study on the bed. So these are all the rules made by our elders for the children. So like that only, Amanda's mother also feels that she sits in a very lazy manner. To this, Amanda imagines herself as a mermaid. And when she hears this, she is actually not caring about all those things that what her mother is saying, but instead she imagines herself to be a mermaid. What is a mermaid? Mermaid, you all must have actually watched Hollywood movies where some fish kind of creatures who have the whole body as fish and the face as humans, or the upper body part is of humans and the lower body part is of fish. So that creature is known as what, mermaid. So she now feels like she is a mermaid who lives in a calm and relaxing life in a beautiful green sea, and imagines herself to be living in a beautiful green sea where she is actually enjoying all the luxury, and she doesn't have anything to do. Having very calm surroundings. Further, she is nagged for cleaning her room and shoes, and also for not doing her homework. And then after that, she is also taunted for what? That she has not cleaned her room, and she has not cleaned her shoes. I think you all also must be getting the naggings for all these things most often. Uh, your mothers are also would be just scolding for you. You have not done this. You have not done that. You have not polished your shoes. You have not put up your clothes. So all these things you all must be also listening in your houses, and also not for doing her homework. And this is the biggest problem that most of the children face in the house, that whenever the father is around or the mother is around, they always keep on asking for the homework, whether have you completed your homework or not. So this is the question that you might be hearing for 50 or 100 times in your house, and even after that you do not do it. She then imagines herself to be an orphan because she is now fed up of being watched by her parents continuously, and now she feels like she's an orphan, and her parents are actually continuously just nagging her, and they are not caring for her. She feels like that. She says that she would have enjoyed her freedom then by making the patterns of her bare feet on the sand, and would live a peaceful life. And then she imagines to be what? She feels like she's barefoot on the beaches or somewhere, and she is actually making her footprints, and she is living a very peaceful life. She's happy with it, and she doesn't care what her mother is saying. Next, Amanda is scolded for eating too many chocolates. Another scoldings that every child gets is what? For eating too many chocolates. And that is the same with Amanda also. She's also getting so many scoldings for eating chocolates, and this causes pimples. And this is said to be the cause of what? Pimples on her cheeks. She's also scolded for not listening to her mother, and she's also being scolded for not listening to her mother. So now Amanda thinks of being Rapunzel. I think you all must have heard the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. In that story only, I think this one Rapunzel's character is there, and she is the one who is very beautiful, and she marries to a prince. And the story goes like that only. You all must have heard it. A character from a fairy tale and wants to live in a huge tower like her. So now she imagines herself to be Rapunzel, and she imagines that she wants to live in a huge tower like Rapunzel used to live in. In the tower, she will be alone and will be peaceful, will live a peaceful life, and will never allow anyone to come in. And she imagines that in that tower, she wants to live alone, and she would never allow anybody else to come in that tower. And then after that, finally, the mother asks her to stop being moody because she doesn't want anyone to blame her for harassing her daughter. At this time, the poet has not written any reaction from Amanda's side. And then after that, she again just actually asks Amanda that she must stop being moody because she doesn't want to blame anybody else for harassing her. And this time, she is not actually giving any reaction to her mother. This constant nagging has made her so sad that she has even stopped to imagine herself as someone else. Now, this constant nagging is actually creating a kind of effect on her that she has stopped imagining also the kind of imagination that she used to have in her mind, that now she is this, now she is that, but that she has that also stopped that thing. She used to do so in order to escape from the continuous harassment. And why was she imagining it? Because she wanted to escape from the continuous harassment or the dominance of her parents. Okay, now this is the poem, Amanda. Now let us go line by line. Now, see, you can. I have already explained everything that what this whole poem is about. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders. Hunch your shoulders is what? I'll show you. See, most often you will see the children doing like that. this thing is called what? Hunch your shoulders. So her mother is saying, Amanda, don't bite your nails and don't hunch your shoulders. Amanda, stop that slouching and sit up straight. And then whenever she stands in a bending manner. Slouching is what? Standing in a bending manner. So Amanda's mother says that, okay, stop that slouching and sit up straight. Amanda, there is laughing, languid emerald. And then she starts imagining when she is getting all these scoldings from her mother, then starts getting, she starts imagining that there is a language sea, there is very calm sea. Language means what? Very calm. Emerald Sea, where the sole inhabitant is me. She is the only inhabitant of that sea. A mermaid drifting blissfully, and she is walking. Drifting means what? Moving slowly, moving gently, and drifting blissfully in the sea. So here the meaning of the all words is also given. Hunch is was bend, slouching, sitting in a lazy way, and languid is what? Relaxed. Emerald means uh, green color. Actually, there is a very precious stone. You all must have watched the movie Titanic. In that, there is one emerald thing that has been shown over there. It's actually a gem, you can say. It's in green color. Inhabitant means what? Resident. Drifting means what? Carried slowly by the water. Blissfully means what? Happy. Okay, now let us to the next. Come to the next stanza. I have already explained all these things. You can just go and read it if you wish to see. Now, let us see the literary devices used in this part. What are the literary devices have been used? So, anaphora has been used. What is it? Anaphora. So, repeated use of a word at start of two or more lines. Don't bite, don't touch. So, whenever you see in a poem that the same word has been repeated in two or more lines, then there is a figure of speech called anaphora. And then next one is what? Assonance, use of vowel sound O. Don't hunch your shoulders. So now here vowel sound is actually repeated several times. Assonance is actually you can say a part of alliteration. Alliteration is of two types, assonance and consonance. Whenever the consonant sound is repeated for several times in a line, then this is called consonance. And whenever the vowel sound is repeated for several times in a poem, then this is called assonance. So here O sound is repeated for several times, like don't, shoulders, your, do, the C. O is repeated for several times. So that is why what assonance is there. Rhyme. If you go to the rhyming scheme, you'll find out it is A A B B, A A B A C C C. See, let us see how this thing is A A C. Amanda and Amanda. Then AA, this thing is AA, and straight Amanda. AA, B, A, then uh, C. Uh, C is actually given C because this is not rhyming with anything. And C, me blissfully. Me, E, E. Actually, C, me blissfully. All these rhyme all together. So that is why it is what? C, C, C. Okay, now let us come to did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? So now these all are the questions that her mother is actually continuously she keeps on asking her. Amanda, have you done this? Amanda, have you done that? She continuously keeps on nagging her. I thought I told you to clean your shoes, and then she says, perhaps I thought to that I have told you to clean your shoes, and Amanda, you have not done that. So now she imagines that I am an orphan. My parents keep on just they perhaps are not my parents because they continuously keep on just taunting me, keep on just telling me things that I am not doing it. I am an orphan roaming on the street, a pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. And she feels like, no, no, this is the best thing I am enjoying, that I am walking bare feet on the sand, and there is silence everywhere, and the kind of freedom getting in that life is actually just very sweet. I am just bored of this whole family life because they keep on continuously nagging you. Orphan. Now here you know orphan means what? A child whose parents are dead. Host means what? Quiet and still place. Okay, now let us come to literary devices also. So literary devices have been used what anaphora, repeated use of a word at the start of two or more lines. Like did you is repeated for several times. So that is why anaphora is again there. Okay, now we'll come to next line. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? I'm Rapunzel. So now this is the whole thing that she actually gets to hear from her mother. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember that you're acne, Amanda. Just what are you doing? That you're having a lot of pimples on your face and still you're eating the chocolate. That she actually keeps on telling to her. Her mother keeps on telling her. That is why she now imagines that she is actually Rapunzel and she does not care. She does not care for the whole world. She is living in a tower. She is having a very calm and very tranquil life, very rare life. You can say that nobody else gets to enjoy. And she certainly does not wish to let anybody else to come down in that tower. Now, come to the next one. I think you all know the meaning of all these words. Acne means what, and fine. Next, Amanda's mother is disallowing her to eat chocolates. So now I think we have completed already. Now come to the next para. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. And sulky means what? Being in a bad mood. So her mother says that, "Oh, Amanda, you're always in a bad mood. Why are you being so sulky? Just don't be like that and don't be so moody because perhaps everybody else would think that I'm continuously keep just nagging you, harassing you, and that is why you are like this. And perhaps this is the reason. And but Amanda cannot do anything now. She just doesn't say anything. Fine. So now this is the poem, Amanda. Okay, here you can say, see the literary devices. Alliteration is there. Stop that sulking. S sound is actually repeated. So repetition of use of word. Repetition is also there. Amanda is repeated for several times. Rhyming scheme, you will find out what AAHA. So this is the chapter. Now let us come to discussion. Everybody, and we'll do the question answer of this chapter tomorrow. Fine. Or should we do it today only? What do you think? All of you just come alive. Just open your camera. Everybody, everybody, just come alive. Yes, Ayush, how are you? Have you understood?
Fine, sir.
Have you understood the chapter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Satyam Rai, Abhinav, Harshvardhan, Prabhat, everybody. Yes, beta. Deepika, how are you? Hmm? Bhagat Singh, Hariom, Kritika, Prachi, all of you just open your camera.
Fine, sir.
Okay. So, have you understood the chapter? Kritika, did you face any problem?
No, sir.
Okay. I think all was clear now. Do you how what kind of girl are you also like Amanda only? Are you also getting scolded like Amanda only in the house? Do you get to hear? Kritika, Deepika,
Yes, sir.
does that happen with
Yes, sir.
you? Okay,
Yes, sir, sometimes.
okay. Sometimes or most often.
Sometimes. Not most, but sometimes.
Okay, okay. Now, all of you, the others also, I would request all of you to put your camera on so that we can have a discussion. Uh, if you're facing any problem, you can just ask me. Hmm? I think more study, more confusion. No study, less study, less confusion. No study, no confusion. So these people are like that only. No study, no confusion. They have not studied anything, so that is why they are not having any confusion. Is it like that? Hmm?
No, sir, it's not like that.
Satyam, Bhagat, why are you feeling
No,
shy?
sir, not like that.
Not like that. So why are you feeling shy about it?
No, sir. Actually, sir, today is the network issue. Sir, sometimes I'm getting disconnected also, sir.
Okay, okay. So no problem. Yes, Satyam, how are you? Satyam,
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
fine. Have you understood? Have you understood the chapter?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you so much. Jai Hind, everyone. See you all in the next class. Thank you once again. Hmm?
Bye,
Thank you, Anish.
Jai Hind, beta.
Bye and Jain, sir.
Jai Hind, everyone.